Happy Tuesday. Today is March 31st, 2026. Today I'm continuing to talk about compassionate, positive thoughts. Now, compassion has 3 steps. The first is understanding, the second is acceptance, and the third is forgiveness. The truth of the matter is, we cannot heal if we're not being truthful with ourselves. We have to accept the truth. We all have our dark side. It's called yin and yang. You have bad days, the dark side comes out. You have good days, the great side comes out. And that's a difficult step, at least it can be, for people to look in the mirror and acknowledge, yes, I did that. Yes, that's me. They say that the faults that we see in other people can sometimes be the faults within ourselves that we don't want to admit to ourselves. So perhaps it's time to look in the mirror. I mean, really look in the mirror and say, yeah, I've got that fault. And is it a fault? Maybe it serves you well. Maybe it doesn't. If you don't like what you're seeing when you look in the mirror, you're the only one that can change it. And don't think that there's nothing there, because there is. There certainly was in my life, and there still is. One step, one step that I took was to reach deep within myself and try to forgive my abuser. Now, a lot of people say they'll never do that, and that's okay. Just because I forgave him does not mean I have forgotten that the pain he did to me, or I have forgotten all that trauma that I had to live through. But you know what? That pain and that trauma propelled me upward and made me rise. And when I understood who he truly was, that he was full of pain himself, and that he was likely full of trauma himself, then my compassion came out. And when my compassion came out, I realized that there is a good side to him. He was a wonderful husband. He was loving, caring, and kind. But he was also a nightmare. So he had a good and a bad extremes. It wasn't for me because I was too fragile. Then, I'm certainly not now. Anyway, history cannot be changed. What's done is done. Where there's compassion and acceptance, try to understand the reason. Try to accept the actions. Try to learn from it. Try to forgive yourself. Mistakes are nothing more than learning what not to do next time. When you're being honest with yourself, it might not happen until a particular situation presents itself. And then you might make a mistake because you're learning a lot of things. You're learning to set boundaries. You're learning to face your fear. You're learning about yourself. You're learning about other people, toxic people, and why perhaps they're like that. Understand, accept, forgive. If you can't forgive, that's okay. But the reason that I forgave is because I didn't want to give him any more rent in my head than he already had for decades. And that's me. That's not you. Whatever you can do to bring peace to yourself, that's your goal. Dedicate yourself to healing. It made me a stronger person to forgive. It increased my self-esteem. I began feeling good about myself, and I began creating inner happiness. And part of that came from my forgiveness. Anyway, it's something to think about. I hope you join me again tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Namaste.